So moving forward with our next expert lecture on through our next honorable personality, Dr. Amit Kumar Gupta, we are having with us. He is Associate Professor, Computer Science and School of Engineering and Technology, Jaipur. Sir will continue with his previous session, Machine Learning, Regression, Regularization and Active Learning. Sir, over to you. Just a minute, dear participants. After this session, we will be having our validatory session at 2 p.m. Okay. So, sir, Amit sir, over to you.
And for
thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Very good afternoon, all of you. And I have taken the lecture on the AbbVie profit model on 5th of January. And due to some time limitation, I think I have covered very in fast manner. Now today we will go again the discuss with the how we can analyze, how we can predict the model using the AbbVie profit. So I am again explaining you how you can define and how you can extract and how you can predict by using the profit model. Ma'am, is it my screen visible? I think no.
No, sir. Yes,
Okay.
now this is visible.
Now it's visible. Okay. Now, so in previous lecture, I have described some Algeria COVID data in which some fields are there like confirmed death and how many daily death are there. So again, I'm going to explaining how we can use this model. So in very first manner, I'm using the Google Colab on which we will run some Python commands, Python scripts we have run. Now, before going on to the analyzing any data using the Python, we have to import some library. So here I have imported some library. You can see in the Pandas, NumPy, Matplotlib, through which we can plot the data. And Google Colab, some Google Colabs actually just let's suppose we have created some information, some data on the Google Colabs in the form of Python. Now we need to download it. So we need some, again, a library that google.colab, that from there we will import some files. And next is AbbVie Profit, that is we will import from the AbbVie Profit library the profit model that we will explain here. So now I'm going to explaining and first I will run here. Now, after the importing the libraries, we have to define our CSV file. So I have a CSV file you can see in the left top corner, and I just import this file. And how you can import, you will very well know about it. That is the pandas library. You can pt.read CSV. So this file can be imported. Now, after the importing this file, now you have to see what are the data content that have been accepted, because whenever you are reading a data read CSV file, that it will export you as a data frame. So data frame we will see top 5 row we will see, and actually we will watch what type of data actually this data CSV file contains. So you can see this CSV file have the one date column, confirmed column, daily cases, daily death, daily death, recover, and daily recover. So actually we have defined here the some important case. We will study that we will predict the how many deaths will be in future, but I'm going here some slightly different. I just want to calculate some active rate, how many active rate in comparison with the confirmed case, how many death rate, that is the how many deaths are in comparison with the confirmed cases, and the cured rate, how many recovery rate. So I will include these 3 columns in this database, and you can see that I don't use any daily cases, daily death, and daily recovery. So I just required only the confirmed and the recovered and the death column. So I will delete it. So first I have analyzed that these are the data that are available in my data frame. Now here going on to the conversing any column, any series, I am going on to the knowing the what is the data structure. So you can see, you can watch the what is the data structure. So you can use the command like df info. You can see df.info. It will tell about all the series, all the columns information. So here you can see that first column is the date column, that is the object type. There is no define any confirmed. This is integer type, data type, daily cases. So and you can also see that there are 291 entries are in there in your database, in your CSV file, in your data frame data. So, but that here you can see there is a one value that have it is not null, because all have the 291 entries, but in the column of that there is some missing value, we can say NaN value. So whenever we are going to apply profit model, so I have already explained the date column should be in the Pandas date time format. So what we will do first, we will do that the date column should be converted into the Pandas date time format. So here you can see I have taken the df date, that is the date column, and it is converted into the pd.toDate time. So here the df date, we are applying the date time format Pandas date time on the df date column. So this column should be converted into the Pandas date time, that is the hours, month, etc. etc. So first we need to complete it. So here you can see now I am again printing the data frame. So date column that was object in the previously, it will be converted into the date time format. Now we have converted, and you can see the date df head and tail. These are two commands that actually you want to host the top 20 or top 5 if you are not giving any value. So by default it will print some upper 5 rows of your data frame. So these are two commands. Now as I can see that daily cases and in this database, you can see it doesn't require the daily cases. We require the daily death in our analysis, and we do not require the daily recovery. So first I need to delete these columns from my data frame. So how can I delete? So there is a programming fundamental of your Python we use by the df drop. So you can see this is a df drop by which we are dropping the column daily cases, daily death, daily recovery. And here you have to define the axis equal to 1. Whenever you are deleting a data column from a data frame, so axis always be 1. If you want to delete a row, then its value is a 0. In place, that is a true, that you are performing some deletion operation. Now I'm dropping the daily cases, daily death, and I'm printing my data frame. Now you can see. So your data frame that is actually measured or have only the date column, confirm, death, and recover. Now I want to add an active case. What is the active case? I will calculate on the confirmed minus death and minus recover. So I will add this active column in this data frame also. So what I will do? So here you can see I have written a formula like active equal to df confirmed. That is the confirmed column minus recovered column minus death column. So I will get the active. So it is a series. Now this series will be added to in my data frame. So I have used the df active. I have given the name to the column that is the active, and it is equal to the series of active. Now you can see your data frame, what type of data frame you have created now. Now you can see only first we have only 3 columns, confirmed, death, and recovered. Now I have inputted a new column that is called the active, that is calculated on the behalf of confirmed, death, and recovered. Now I will add, that is the my M. Actually I want to predict the active rate, confirmed rate, and death rate. So here now I'm going to add active rate. Now how can I calculate? And same thing here I have given a series name like active rate, that is equal to df active upon df confirm, because I'm calculating the active rate in the comparison of confirmed cases. So here I have calculated a series for the active rate, and that will be calculated on the behalf of df active on df confirm, that will be multiplied by 100. Now I have added the active rate column into my data frame df. Now you can see your active rate will be added to your data frame. Now, so active rate column has been added in your database. Similar, I have added the death rate. So here you can see I have added the death rate in also in this data frame. Now you can see your death rate is again added into your data frame. Now I will add the cure rate. Again, cure rate will be calculated into the same calculation. Here you can watch your cure rate is also included into the data. Now it is a perfect data that actually you want to predict. So what is actually we will do? We will predict the future active rate. Actually, we have the data of Algeria, and these are the active rate and death rate and cure rate. Now we will make a model for predicting the active rate, death rate, and cure rate. Now this is a data, but it still have some NaN that is are not defined for the database. So one value that is actually for the death, that is defined the NaN, that is the not defined values. So how we can remove? We can remove either also particular row, or we can fill by some value. So here I have used the df.fillNow function that will fill the 0 in place of any NaN value into the data frame df. So here you can watch only one value was defined into the death. Now this value is filled by a 0. So you can see the that have the 290 values of non-null. Now it's become the 291. So all values are well defined whenever we are going to analyze our data. So now you can also export this data set into the form of CSV file. This is the option of Google Colab. So df.toCSV. This file actually will convert your data frame into the CSV file. Sometimes you are going to make a research and you want to insert a table in your paper. So you need some data that is actually on which you have performed some analyzing operations. So you need to download as a CSV, and files.download. This is the Google Colabs format. You can download the file. So if you are running this script, so your file will be downloaded. So this file has been downloaded on your system. Now you can use in your paper for the any you can say for any purpose of research, etc. Now before going to make a model, first I have already defined that whenever you are defining a profit model, it will take only two inputs. First is the date column, and the corresponding it will be a y. That is the prediction or which that are actual value. So whenever you are using a data frame, so first I'm going to explain some command that actually I have explained in the previous lecture. Now here you can see input to the profit is a data frame with two columns ds and y. Ds, that is a date times time, and y on which you are predicting or forecasting. So whenever you are going to perform some operation over a profit model, then you have to make a different data set. So here we are going to predicting the death rate, cure rate, and active rate. So first you need to create a data frame that will be for the date, and the date rate that will be associated with only the date column. So how you can make this one? So here I have defined the new data frame, that is a dr, that is a df dot group by. That means you want to associate date with the death rate. So you have to use the group by command here. So group by किस column के साथ कर रहे हैं? That is the date column, and which one is death. So here the dr will describe a data frame that have only the two entries. One is the date and another one is the death. And this dr, this data frame will be go pass into the profit model. On the similar case, I have calculated the CR that will define the cure rate and AR data frame that will define the death rate. And you can see also, if I'm, you can look, if I'm going to run this, so here only CR dot head, actually, so here, this is the cure. Now, this cure rate data column has become a date and column. Now, this will be the inputting for the your profit model. And here you can also watch live for if you are going to view. And on the similar pattern, you can watch also death rate data frame. This one. Now you can. So this is another data frame that will be going to pass into the prediction model. And third one we have drawn a C, that is a cure rate active rate. So AR dot head. So these are three data frames actually that we will go pass into the profit model. So only two columns, that is a date column, and this is the your active. So whenever we are passing these data frames, and the profit model always says this column should be named, this date column always should be named as a DS. And the prediction on which you are making a prediction column, that should be named as a Y column. Only two column is allowed into the profit model. So here, before applying the model, we just rename the column. So here you can see dr dot rename, that is a data frame rename, that is a column equal to date as a converted into the DS, and death rate that is converted into the. So here this command will be run, and then now you can look here and you can vote what is the dr dot head. I will print. Now data frame dr that is converted into the column, renaming column, that is ds and y. So this is the actual input that will be defined for your profit. On the similar case, we will perform for the active rate also and cure rate. This is the y value on which we will make a prediction. Now, here, now we will go for the forecast. So first we will make a model. So profit model imported from the active rate. Now here I have defined a model that will be fit into the profit and internal width equal to 0.95. So internal width actually define the uncertainty level of your data. So first we have designed a model that using profit and I have defined some internal. There are some more property like you want to some import some change point, and internally, externally you want to supply some data on it. So I just use only that is the define your accuracy of this model. So here I have defined the model. Then I will use this model to fit my DR data. So I have available the data into a DR frame, and this model will be fit to this DR data. So I have training, actually I am defining some training of the model. Now, before I'm going on to the fitting of the data, I will generate some future data, and this AppD Profit defines some generating future data frames also. So how you can define model dot make future data frame periods equal to 60. Here I have defined the 60. That means I am just creating advanced 60 dates after your last date of your data frame. So here you can see this model has been built. Now I'm going to fit this model into your death rate column. And you can see I have created some more dates. So first 291 entries are there, and now 291 and plus 60, so it becomes the 350. So these are the future dates that we have created. Now on these future dates that we have created on the future dates, now we will make a prediction. So here you will do a forecasting. How you can do forecast equal to model dot predict. Model you have defined. Now dot predict is a fact. It will predict the forecast the value for the future date, for which you have created the 60 data frame, date time frames. It will be predict for. Now this will return you data frame. This result, this model dot predict on future date, it will return you some data frame. And I have stored this data frame into the forecast variable. Now here I am going to, there are some more values are defined in the forecast. So I'm just defining here. And I just choose only the DS value, Y hat value, Y hat lower, Y hat upper. Before I'm going into this, I'm just defining, let's suppose. So first, I'm just running this model. You can see here, I have printed the data frame forecast, and that at there just chooses only the DS, that is the data, Y hat, that is the predicted values, and Y hat lower predicted values, and it is upper prediction. So wherever a profit model is used, it will define some lower and upper values, and that is the final value on the behalf of these lower and higher predictions. But it is also has some more value. So here I am going to print the forecast. How many values? Forecast. So I'm just printing this. Now you can see there are so many values: trend upper, trend lower, additive terms, etc., etc. So that's why actually I'm choosing here only the required columns. So actually, whenever we are going to make the prediction, we just require only these four columns, that is the DS, Y hat, Y lower, and Y upper. So here I'm just choosing these four columns. And this is the forecast. So this is the forecasting using the FB profit. Now on the similar case, I have done for the active rate. So you can see here, same things I have applied for the active rate forecast. Because I'm already going to know what is the values for the, now you can see this is the value. Now as this also can be done for the cured rate. So here model Q. In the execution. Now this is CR. Active date we have done, and model people. So similar case I have applied for the this one, but it is written in the model entity. What happened? Providing some error in the model entity. DS not in DF. Okay. CR dot rename. Okay. Oh, active rate is not in. This is the cured rate actually. This is the cured rate. Capital C is there. So this is the name as you have taken in your data frame. This should be a same. This is also capital. URED. Okay. Now you can see. Here I have taken as a name as a wrong column name. That's why it is creating some problem. Now here, so we have applied for the active rate prediction, cured rate prediction, and the death rate prediction. Now, what is the next aim? Now we will plot a model. So directly in which you can also plot weekly plot and some components are there. You can plot by directly using death rate plot equal to model. What is the model you have created for the death rate? Model 1, you have created the forecast model for the active rate. Model 2 that you have created for the cured rate. Now you can see it will be directly forecast the value that are available in the forecast 1, forecast 2, forecast 3, that is the your value. Now you can see it will directly create values. Just now you can see. So this is the death rate, that is the Y value and the DS. And you can see these are some actual values and the predicted values. So blue line actually shown the your predicted values. And black dot that are shown as your actual value. And these sky color is the lower and high. This is the Y hat lower values, and these are the Y hat upper values. So you can use these graphs in showing your prediction as a research paper also you can write also. So you can see these are the predicted values, and these are most nearly about the actual values. So in this way, actually your profit model giving some accuracy in terms of forecasting. Now you can see for the active rate and death rate. So these are three plots. Now you can also plot some weekly plot there, which you can define some you can say availability, and you can also define some trend. You can show weekly trends, yearly trends. So this is a plot. Now you can see here, these are the plotting. This is the trend. What is the trend over the year, and the weekly trend you can define. So this is the weekly trend, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, on the actually days of your trend variable actually defined here. So this is the final trend over the year or the month. That is. So in this way, you can also plot a model for the using the forecasting. What is the value of trend, etc., etc. So these are the plots. Now, so again, you can save these values if you are writing, if you are analyzing the data. What are the so forecast to CSV? You can convert into the CSV, then you can download as a Google Colab. Now, this actually you have predicted the values, you have created the values, you have applied the profit model as well. Now, whenever in machine learning, whenever we are making a model, so it should be validated. What is the accuracy level of this model? What is the things are there? So in every machine learning algorithm, whenever you are applying, you are measuring some errors like mean square error, MAE error, mean average error, and these kinds of error. And the same case has been happened for the profit model. Profit model basically define a cross validation technique. So cross validation technique I have already explained in the previous class, but now I'm again repeating the concept. What is actually cross validation? Now, here you can see Prophet include the functionality of time series cross validation to measure forecast error using the historical data. So you have a data that is called the historical and perform some cross validation. And that can be done by you are just selecting some cutoff point in the history of the data. And for each of them fitting the model using the data only up to the cutoff. Now you have to select some cutoff point in the data history. And you are just fitting your model for the cutoff value that are defined previously from the cutoff. And now you have to compare the forecast values, actual values, and the forecasting value. In this way, you can measure out the error. And this cross validation is actually automatically select a historical cutoff using the cross validation function. It can also automatically select the change point where the actually data point change, and it is automatically done. It will select the cutoff point, it will check the values, actual values, and it will predict the values and compare these. So that is the cross validation that was actually automatically defined using the cross validation function that is used for the Prophet diagnostic. So how you will define the cutoff? So you can see this. This is a diagram that I have taken from the internet of how you can define the cutoff and horizon. So these are some points: initial, cutoff, and horizon. So here you can see I'm just taking an initial data. This is the data that is defined for 2008 to 2016 as a data. Now I have chosen 5 years as a initial period, and I have made a 1 year after the initial period, 1 year that is used for the cutoff point. I have made after 5 years made a cutoff point. Now I have also defined the horizon, that is the 1 year. So I have defined the cutoff point from 2013 to 2014. So this 1 year duration, 365 days duration, that is called the horizon. And the cutoff point is 2013. Before the 2013, it is an initial. So what will be there from 2013 to 2014? The actual value will be compared with the forecasting value. If they have some difference, so it will be shown some, it will calculate some errors. And this can be automatically done up to the last. Now, initial period will be shifted from 2009 to 2014. And this cutoff has been shifted to the 2014 to 2015. And this can be done automatically in your Prophet model. So whenever you are applying the cross validation, so you can see the output of cross validation is a data frame with values, true value Y, and out of sample forecast value Y. It is the forecasting. And each simulated forecast date and for each cutoff date. So you can see here I have applied some cross validation technique. So here I am using cross validation function. First, I have to import this cross validation method from the appbprophet.diagnostic file. Then I have created the cross validation. First, I have applied on the death rate, then active rate, then cure rate. So death rate actually I have defined into the M, M1 and M2. And these are all saved into the newer data frame because the cross validation always gives you a data frame. So I have saved these into the DFCV, DFCV1, DFCV. And here I have chosen, this is the 291 data set in my data frame are available. So I have chosen the initial period that is the 52 and on which I have chosen as a horizon that is equal to 50. So this is your choice. Whenever you want to make your cutoff point from which you want to validate your data for the some error. So this validation has been done for your death rate. This validation has been done for your death rate, and this will be for the cure. Now you can run this model, so it will create some diagnosis. So this is making a forecasting or validation over your data that will be held between your forecasting values and the actual value. This is done for the DFCV1. This is done for the DFCV and DFCV1, and this is for the DFCV. Now you can also see some what is the data frame actually it will show. So I'm showing you here one database data frame. I'm showing you what type of data actually it will expect. So only last 20. So it will be one example actually I'm showing you. Not this. So this is your data stem, date, time, y hat, y lower, y upper. These are the actual values, and this is the predicted values, and that where it is make a cutoff. So on the 22/10/2020, the cutoff is this will be the output of DFCV2, DFCV1, and DFCV. Now we will plot some performance matrices. So performance matrices, that is actually these values error has been already created for the data. So we will create what is the value for the error, like mean square error, root mean square error, MAE error, MDAP. So how you can do this? So Prophet model is also allow some performance matrix function that can be import from the library at the Prophet.diagnostic. So again, this performance matrix will gives you a data frame. So how you can apply? You just you have calculated, you have made a diagnostic cross validation on the DFCV1 and DFCV2. So you just use the performance underscore matrix function in which you just supply your data frame that are validated using the cross validation. Again gives you a data frame, and I have saved this one. You can see in the DFP. So similarly for the active rate, cure rate, I have calculated. Now, if you want to see what is the type of data actually it will extract, so here I have printed the df underscore p2 dot head. I have printed some values. Just a minute. So you can see it will show some values of performance matrices like MSE, RMSE, and AE. I can show you. So this is a values you can originally see. This is the horizon days, 5 days, 6 days, 7 days, and these are the errors. MSE, RMSE, MAE, MAPE, and DAP. So these are the performance metrics that actually you have built a model, and what are the errors actually are there, and what are the performance of this model actually has been derived. So this can be easily done using the forecast. You can also plot these performance matrices using the cross validation method. So here you have just import a file of plot underscore cross dot validation dot matrix underscore matrix using the appbprophet dot. These errors can be plot without using any matplotlib library. So here You can see I have defined the fig, that is this method I have used. I have supplied the DFCV and which metric actually I want to plot. So here I find the metric MSE, RMSE, MAE, etc. etc. So here you can see without any defining a matplotlib function, you can directly plot all the metric using the FB Prophet or using this library plot underscore cross validation underscore metric that will be comes from the FB Prophet dot plot. So here you can see these are the values. So this is, you can define the MSE, RMSE, yeah, MSE values and the horizon days. So this table actually plot will be plot without using matplotlib. You can directly. So these are the MSE. This one similarly you can plot also for the RMSE, you can plot for the MAE, you can plot for the MDA. So this is the best important whenever you are going to make a research, you want to analyze some performance and etc etc. This is a easier method and Facebook provide its direct method to plot, to run, to download the performance measurement criteria for the particular machine learning. And it is found that this Prophet model define a very good accuracy up to the above the level of 90%. So this is a good model whenever you are performing some forecasting over the time series data, and it is most widely used in the share market and where you want to make a prediction over the dates. And here also I have defined some plot, and these are some commands of your Python. So this is a forecasting. So this is to me, and if you have any query, any questions regarding this, you can. Is there any question on? Is there any query you want to ask? The most.
Participants, if you have any query, you can ask. Sir, I think there is no any query. Okay. Thanks a lot, sir, for this very informative session.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay. All the participants, please, you all have to join the validatory session at 2 p.m.
New link is given at WhatsApp group.